Hello friends, and welcome back to another book related video. Now, my first video was quite messy, but you know what, it's me, it's the way my brain works. I am a little bit chaotic, but I have decided I want to do monthly book videos on the books that I have read every month, and obviously we're starting in January. So I only managed to read 3 books in January. My goal was to read 4, but I am halfway through 2 books, so I think I might get extra done in February because 2 of them I'm already halfway through, but neither of them are really grabbing me, so I'm really struggling. There's 2 books. One of them is really highly rated, so I assumed that it was going to be amazing, but I've picked it up and put it down like 10 times, and I really want to finish it because I want to know what the hype's about, but I'm really struggling. And the second one is by an author who is really highly rated, but it's my first book of hers. So I will talk about them next month, but I don't know. I'm not feeling many 5-star reads for February so far. So I read 3 books in the month of January. The first one I absolutely smashed through. The second one I really struggled through. And the third one I smashed through. So we're going to get started. The first book I read, and I'm sorry, there's just going to be a theme of Colleen Hoover for a while because I'm just trying to get through a lot of her books and I just haven't yet because I haven't been reading for that long. But the first book I read was Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, and for me this was a 5-star read. I loved it, devoured it, obsessed. I think I read it in about 3 days, which for a mum with not much spare time, I have to really make the time to read. I think that's really good. For me, it was a page turner from the start. I literally picked it up and couldn't put it down. I was like walking around the house reading it and just reading at any chance I could find in the day. So to me, that is gonna be a good book. The story of Hopeless, it is about a girl called Sky, and she has been homeschooled her whole life and has her best friend who lives next door to her, and they have boys over every Saturday night. She makes out with all these boys, never does anything else but makes out with them, and she does it to feel numb. She feels absolutely nothing when she's making out with these guys. She just looks up at the sky and counts the stars on her ceiling. She doesn't know why that is, but obviously that's part of the story. She then begs and begs her mum to see if she can go to normal school, or like public school, for her last year of schooling. Her mum lets her, but then last minute her friend gets like a scholarship and moves away for senior year. So she's like, cool, doing it by myself. But I begged and begged, I really do want this experience. So she does that. She then meets a guy called Holder, and he is like kind of really intrigued by her. He's very popular at the school, a lot of people know who he is, but he is really interested in Sky. He gets a bit confused the first time he sees her and seems to think that he knows her, and she gets really confused, and they have sort of a few not very good interactions. I don't know, she's a bit creeped out by him, I guess. So yeah, they have a few really weird interactions, and then eventually they start this like love interest with each other. I wouldn't call it like a enemy to lovers or anything like that because they never like hated each other, but she definitely has like a funny feeling about him and then ends up seeing him, sort of thing. A few really interesting things happen throughout, and he does some really weird things, and then, as all Colleen Hoover books have, there's a giant plot twist and everything sort of makes sense, and I just couldn't believe it. It was a plot twist I didn't really see coming. I really liked it. It was just really interesting, and then what happens is like one thing after another, like there's just like multiple twists which I really like that all kind of mesh together. So I would highly recommend that if you are looking for a book to read. I would say it's a pretty good start to a Coho book as well. Like if I was going to read Colleen Hoover, I would recommend that as a place to start because I just found it really good. There is also like a series, so you then can hear the story from Holder's perspective as well, which according to Rachel Catherine is even better. So I'm intrigued. Since I'm calling this a 5-star read, I'm very intrigued to see what his is, but I also want to like space out before I read that one so that I'm not doing too much of the same reviews. And then I believe there's another one as well, which I'm not sure what that one's about, but I believe there's 3 in the little series. Now, the second book I read, everyone's gonna hate me because it's the hating game. And now I rated this a 3, but it would almost be like a 2.5 to 3 because I feel like it was 100 pages too long. Like, the story was good. I just feel like nothing really happened for like the first 100 pages, and then everything like was compact into the next 200 pages. And I don't know, I just got a bit like bored with their story a little bit. I don't know. It's about these two co-workers, and they work in this office, and it was two separate publishing houses who have been brought together because they were both going broke. So they're like were competitors and are now forced to work together, and they literally like work in the same office and they just argue all day every day basically, like, which I guess is meant to be like sexual tension in the end. But yeah, I don't know, I just didn't find it very like believable. I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it that much. And then eventually I did get into it, but it took like 100 pages, which for me, honestly, if a book's going to take me that long, usually I would have given up by then. But I don't know, I just kept going because I really wanted to make, like, I just wanted to know how it ended and finish it. I don't know, I don't really feel like much happened. Like, they just hated each other, and then they obviously fall for each other, and then there's like a couple of little tidbits of like plot twisty kind of things, like why they are the way they are, I guess, and like what's made them be like that, and then it ends. So I don't know, I feel, but the tricky thing is it's a lot of people's like favorite book of all time. Like, I got so many people recommending it. If you look on Goodreads, the recommendation, like the star rating is like really high. People are like, I couldn't put it down. But I don't know, it just didn't grab me the way it obviously has for other people. And yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I'm just shocked that I didn't absolutely love it like everyone else did. It wasn't bad, like I got through it, I enjoyed bits of it. It was cute, bit cheesy, you know, like typical like rom-com movie situation, which I have since watched the movie, and the movie was the same except more rushed because they obviously only have like an hour and a half or whatever, and they missed really important parts, as they always do in movies. But yeah, I don't know, it just wasn't my jam. But then book number 3 comes along, and it is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and my heart just I couldn't put it down. There's something about the way Coho writes which just gets me and everyone else. And I got it the day it released. It was free on Kindle Unlimited, so I didn't even have to pay for it or wait for it. I literally saw that it was live, downloaded it, started reading it right then and there. Whilst I was halfway through another book, I was like, see ya, she's here. And I devoured it. I would also, I think I would say it is a 5-star read for me as well. I literally, there's like only one little bit which I didn't enjoy, which I can't really say because it's a spoiler. I know, that's so annoying, but there's only like one small bit at the end. Okay, what I will say is I just feel like the end was rushed. I feel like there was a conclusion that needed to come. It came really fast, and I just feel like it was as if Colleen Hoover's publisher was like, mate, you gotta get this finished next week. And she was like, okay, I'll just wrap it up. That's how I feel. I feel like the end just wasn't as carefully done as the rest of the book. I feel like the book was so perfect, and there was so many amazing scenes and so many amazing moments and storylines and character development and just so much incredible stuff happening, and then the end was like, look, done. So I don't know, that's my only little, so maybe a 4.5 stars because I didn't love the whole thing 100%, I guess. But overall, I feel like it was just incredible. I should probably tell you a little bit about what it's about. It is about a girl called Kenna, and she has spent the last 5 years in prison because she was involved in a car accident where she was drinking and she bailed, basically. And her boyfriend at the time passed away. He died in the car accident. It's made pretty clear straight away that he didn't die instantly and that she could have helped, basically. She then finds out when she's in prison that she is pregnant with his little girl. So she has this daughter, and the daughter obviously gets taken straight off her because she's in prison for 5 years, and her daughter Diem, like Carpe Diem is why she named her that. So Diem then goes to live with the boyfriend's parents, so her biological grandparents, not on Kenna's side, because she doesn't have a relationship with her family. So the story starts where she gets out of prison and she goes back to this town where she used to live. She doesn't really want to be recognized, but she wants to do all she can to prove to these grandparents that she deserves to be in her daughter's life. She then goes to this bar, meets this guy. He ends up knowing the daughter, and there ends up just being like a whole circle of things happen. And the storyline is just so beautiful. It's like heartbreaking, but happy, but sad, but like, oh, and I just feel like even all the side characters I just loved. Like, you know, when there's extra characters, like there was another bartender and there was a girl who lived in her apartment building who were just great characters. Like, I just loved them, and they were a little bit quirky, a little bit different, and I just found that really interesting. I love when side characters are also just awesome. And I just fell in love with this guy that she met at the bar, Ledger. He is just gorgeous, and he really struggles because he's sort of torn between wanting to get to know Kenna, but then knowing what Kenna did, and then knowing the daughter and wanting to protect her. But yeah, so he's in this constant battle, and it's just magic, and I just love it. I just think it's one of the best books I have read, and I highly, highly recommend it. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to wrap this up really, really quick. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about the 3 books I read in January. Please let me know what you read in January or what you recommend, because my TBR list is big, but it's always going to get bigger, and I just love knowing what everyone else is reading and their opinions on things, and I just love chatting books. And if you have read Reminders of Him, slide into the DMs, because I would love to chat about it more, because I just have a lot of feels and it was just beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be very, very soon. Bye.